Good day to you. The reason I've got this video here, and as you see on the introduction of it, is simply how some basic steps to writing. Most individuals I work with, when I train with, they're just trying to make sure they emphasize what they want to say on that paper. Well, I'm not going to take up much of your time. It's going to be some basic steps that you can use. Now, who are you talking to, listening to? My name is Mr. McLin. I've been teaching for over 25 years in the metropolitan area. I have a master's in education, and I've basically been most of my written life in education been dealing and working with people on how to write and how to emphasize yourself in writing. Well, before you even go into writing, I'm going to give you 4 steps, but prior to those 4 steps, first thing you need to understand is, what the heck am I going to write? Well, for those who are in collegiate areas or school, whatever area you're in, that teacher has an outline for you. Follow that outline to the T. A lot of teachers, especially myself, if I give you an outline, I expect you to follow it. Before you even look and did past writing or even putting your finger on that keyboard, make sure you brainstorm. Yep, brainstorm. What is that? Well, brainstorming simply is taking a sheet of paper, pen, and start putting down thoughts and ideas about your paper. You who are in college again, who are in scholastic or in high school, you have an ability to look at the outline the teacher's giving you. And usually there's a statement or a theme that they want you to write it in. Jot down ideas from that theme. Follow what they've given you. Now, for those who just have a paper that they're just trying to read on their own, write down those ideas, jot them down. And then once you put those ideas all over your paper, put them in some type of order, bullet point orders, numerical orders, because you want to express yourself in sequence or in some type of order. Now, once you've got that idea, now you can go ahead and get to your paper. Now, again, for those in school, make sure you follow the format. If it's MLA, APA, you can go online. There's not a good website you can use to give a sample. For example, give credit to online to OWL Purdue. They have MLA and APA style. Follow that format. What's nice about it, if you go to that site, you'll see an actual sample paper that you can use. One screen over there, have the sample paper, put your paper right next to it and follow that to the T. It gives you all the information in little windows and boxes. Use that. Also, make sure that you have the right format of introduction for the teacher has suggested. Every heading may be different compared to what the teacher is asking for. Follow that format. Now, once you end up getting your format together, do that at the top of the page. Well, Mr. McLin, where is that on the top? If you go to Microsoft Word, open it up. At the very top, there's an area for where you can put your 12 font, which is your type of sizing that you want. Then there's also style of font. Then you have Times New Roman. Times New Roman is usually the format that most schools are asking for, especially with MLA. Once you have your paper set up, go to the other side, and you'll see on top, same area, and that's, I believe that's going to be under File, but once you get to the top there, you'll see the fact that it says the spacing. It's either double space or 1.5. Make sure you follow that format to give it. Now, what I always tell my students, when you set up your paper and as you're typing, never use the enter button. Well, why not? Because when you enter, in the format of a spacing, you enter it moves down. And now typing says double space and it says 1.5. But what you have done is adjusted the whole spacing by simply entering. It will read that, but it will still be the wrong spacing on your paper. Don't push enter. Well, Mr. McLin, how can I move my wording around? There is an arrow up, arrow to the side, arrow to the other side, and arrow down. Those are where you move your cursor, and that helps you move within the format of the spacing. Now, let's get to your 4 steps. 4 basic steps for writing. Your introduction. When you have an introduction, you're introducing your paper. Take everybody as a layman. What's a layman? An individual who understands only common knowledge. So you have to give all the information clearly. Explain yourself, introduce your topic. Once you get to the bottom of that introductory paragraph, make sure that you put a thesis statement. Well, what's a thesis statement, Mr. McLin? Thesis statement is your overall sentence that tells what your whole paper is dealing with. That is your arc for what you're writing about. Follow that, use that, because that's what the teacher's going to look for when they look at your paper. What is your thesis statement? Once you establish a thesis statement, But what's the thesis statement example? So write a correct paper and you use the correct format, spacing, and analogy of what's given for your paper. That's my thesis statement. Now, everything I write in that paper is going to be following what I just said. Remember, you must follow that thesis statement. It's just like going to the Borders bookstore, picking up the book, reading the back of the cover, and you hear one thing, or rather read one thing, and then you open the book and it has totally different. You spent your money and you're upset. That's how the reader feels when they read your paper, when you change your thesis statement in the bottom of your paper. Well, throughout your paper, you say one thing, and your thesis, you say another. That's going to be a problem. So stick to what your thesis statement says. That's first step, introduction. Once you establish your thesis statement, then every other paragraph after that follows that. And what we have on each paragraph is a topic sentence. Topic sentence sits on the top. That's why they call it topic. It also outlines your paragraph. Well, how many topic sentences are in usually in a paragraph? One. Make sure you only have one. A topic sentence is pulled from your thesis statement, and hopefully in the order that you wrote in your thesis statement. Pull that topic, put it at the top of your paragraph, and everything in that paragraph explains what your topic is from that topic sentence. Then each paragraph that follows after that should have a topic sentence that's from where? From your thesis statement. Once you have established that, that's your second thing, your topic. Topic above each paragraph, pulling from your thesis statement. Then your third thing, go into your summary. Summary is basically an overall confirmation of what you stated in your introduction. All in all, in conclusion, that's your wrap-up statement. Transitional words are very helpful. Look that up. Transitional statements help move your roadmap. Why do I call it roadmap? Because when people read your paper, they're following the path that you're going. It's like a stop sign. If it says stop, the person knows to stop there, but they look at the sign. Your transitional statements help look at where the reader needs to go. Now, back to your third situation. Now you're doing your summary. It's a wrap-up. It's an overall. You've confirmed your point. You repeat again your thesis in a way that's concluded that you have stated information support. Now, that's your summary. Third thing, but I'm going to add one more thing. In a formal paper for my collegiate people, my high school people, most exactly your teacher will tell you need so many sources. What's a source? Where you go online in the library to get support for what you stated. You're not a published author yet, so you have to go into a library online. Got this wonderful thing called a computer. You can look for your sources. Be wary of certain sites that have information sent up to it from novice people. You want to make sure you go to scholastic sources. And sometimes, if you're lucky, your teacher will show you different sources to go to. Once you have established your source, what am I looking for, Mr. McLin? How do I find my source? Well, think about the statements you said in your paper, in your thesis statement. You want to look for sources that support that, scholastic sources. Sources that are come from scholastic areas, collegiate areas where you can use and depend on. Published, well-published authors. Sometimes an article, sometimes a text. Use that to support your point. Now, when you put that quote in, please do not let your whole paragraph be the quote. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for the quote to support your point, but not have your whole paper as a quote. Please watch that. And don't end a paragraph with a quote. Why not, Mr. McLin? Because you just stated something supported. Now you got to tell me in a sentence, or your teacher, how that was connected to your point, this particular quote. So let's rewrap this real quickly. Before you write, make sure you brainstorm. Jot it down, put it on a piece of paper, your ideas, and use a theme that the teacher may have given you for different ideas. Then, before you touch your computer, touch writing, make sure you set up your paper. As I told you before, most of the time it's 12 font, Times New Roman, double spacing. Stick to your spacing, watch that enter button. Then, first step, introduction. Introduce that paper. Make sure that you're real clear and concise where you're going. And that thesis statement at the bottom of that introduction paragraph helps that reader know where you're going, and also is what your teacher is looking for. Then each paragraph has a topic sentence. Take that topic sentence to outline your paragraph. Look for your sources. Sources should be aligned to your thesis, the main idea in your paper. Make sure that scholastic sources are not something that's formed up on the internet that some novice has just sent up. Please watch that. Then once you have your topic sentence, which is your second point, following that, how many topic sentences to a paragraph? 1. Then you go in your third point, where you go to your summary, wrapping it up. Wrapping your paper up, making sure that information is what you need. Now, that is your paper. Also, make sure you get a chance for someone to read your paper with you. Read your paper out loud. Silent reading is not good for your paper, because what happens with silent reading, you end up skipping in your mind certain things that you should not skip. So simply go to open reading of your paper. Read it to a friend, read it to your mom. If they don't notice something, if they're a little lost, maybe that reader or the teacher will be lost with what you just stated. So it's always good to proofread your paper. Now, once you have proofread your paper, make needed changes. Probably there's a 101 in class or peer counseling. Use that to help your paper wrap up and be the paper that you want. So all in all, there is your paper. If you have any more questions, my name is Mr. McLin. I can make another video and help you out to make you communicate sufficiently and correctly and get your point across. All in all, thank you for your time.